what we got on the bench today is it's a present from my wife Paris, which was for my birthday, which is a box of DCC Concepts Cobalt point motors. A lot of you are probably familiar with them, and I use these throughout Smallwood Junction. I haven't completed motorising all my points, so I do require these, and as I say, Paris bought me these for my birthday. What you get in this pack is 6 point motors. These are the Cobalt digital IP motors, which you mount under your baseboard to operate your points. The ones I've got to do now are underneath the upper layout, upper level. So when I started Smallwood Junction, I did work out the height of the upper layer, because obviously you need to allow for your trains to pass under the point motors. And what you can do with these, instead of them sitting on that way, you can lie them down, so you've got more clearance under your board. So on the upper level, all my point motors lie down, and what you need is an adapter which allows you, get that in focus, this allows you to lie them down and operate your points. Well, I'll show you how I fit these and fit them underneath my upper level. So what we do first, we assemble the throw bar onto the point motor. Fix that in place with a small screw. It's very fiddly. Fix that bar in as you would if you're going to mount that vertically. So you could mount that directly up into the baseboard that way, but what I want to do is I want to lie it down so it gives me more space for the locos to come underneath it. So once you've got that on the throw bar, you're going to get the 90-degree adapter. We bolt that adapter onto there. So that's the adapter assembled there, and then I've trimmed the throw bar here to suit, otherwise it would foul on there. So that we can take that over now, and we can mount that under the baseboard. So here's one of the points which I've mounted earlier, and you can see that's lying down. So if we put one which you would normally mount that way, you can see the difference in the clearance it gives you. So I've got enough clearance under here for a loco to go under it by fitting it on its side rather than that way. So we're going to fit it up that way with the adapter bracket, 90-degree adapter bracket. So this is the point that we're going to motorise, which is on the upper section. So this one will be mounted under the baseboard below it in that orientation. So what I've done to locate that position, I've made myself a template which I can put on the track like that, and I can position that with a pin through there, through the centre of the point. I don't know what you would call that, the pivot bar. So I can position that. So what we have to do is position that in the middle, and I'll get a bit of blue tack and hold that in position. We do have to take the spring out of this motor. I've still got the spring in. So I'll take the spring out, and then we'll position that with a bit of blue tack. We'll fit a pin through that hole on there, and I can line the dotted lines with the track. And then these points here, I drill through with a drill, and they'll be in the correct position to mount the motor underneath, and the holes should line up with the mounting holes on the motor. So I've took the spring out. You can see it just moves freely. So what we've got to do is position that in the middle, and I'll put a bit of blue tack just to hold that, so that hold the blades in the middle of the track. Then we go back to my template. I've got a pin through there, which then has to go needs to go through there, which is a bit fiddly one hand because I've got my camera in the other hand. I don't know whether I can do it. That's it. So that's in there. That holds that in place. I line the track up with the red dotted lines, and what I'll do then is drill 3 holes through there, which will go through the board, and then I'll be able to locate the point motor underneath. Okay, so there's the template in place. Lines line up with the track, so there'll be a bit of drill noise now. So there the holes through. So now when I put this underneath, those holes will be in the right position for the fixing holes, and then I can screw that up underneath the baseboard. So what I use a little ratchet, and I can get the screws started. I've got two of them started. So I've got two screws in. So I've got to get this up and up into the throw bar on the point, which is a bit fiddly. So I've got the throw bar up into the point, and get slide it on to 2 of the screws. That's 2 of the screws in. What I have missed out is the mounting pad, which will take a bit of the noise away. So I better take it back out and put the mounting pad back in. So there's the point motor mounted underneath the board. Okay, so all we have to do now is connect it up. And the 3 wires I've got here, the orange and grey, are the DCC bus, which have to go into the terminals here. And then I've got the green wire, also goes into the 3rd connection, which goes to the flog on the point to switch the polarity on the flog. So we'll strip them back and we'll get those connected into there. So there's the three wires you need: the DC bus, the grey and orange, and the green wire which goes to the point frog. So that's it installed. So the next step is to program the address into the IP motor, which is quite simple. So what we have to do there is a little switch here. We flick that to program, and then we go onto the Z21 app and operate it, and that will send the address to the IP switch. And then we flick that switch back, and that's it. So we've wired it in and we've flicked the switch into set mode, little toggle switch there. And then we go to the Z21 app, flick on, and we operate the turnout on the screen a couple of times, and we go back down, flick the switch out of set mode, and when we operate it on the screen, and then the point's operated. Okay, and that's it. What we do need to do now is just cut this pin off, and that's the install finished.